So we're here today with Boysen Hodgsen. He is the communications director for the Mankind Project, which I already started sharing a little bit with all of you on Infinite Possibility. So Boysen's here today to kind of shed some light on what they do at the Mankind Project, and particularly for those who maybe aren't seeking out something like this. So Boysen, can you just give us a little introduction to what the Mankind Project is and what the mission of it is?
Cool. So, first of all, thank you.
Thank you.
Really appreciate the opportunity to make action. And so, the Mankind Project is a nonprofit training and education organization. We've been in existence for about 25 years now, a little over 25 years. We are in 8 geographical areas in the world. So we started in the United States and have grown out of the United States into 8 different areas of the world. Mostly English-speaking, but now we're also in German-speaking Europe and French-speaking Europe and South Africa, Australia, New Zealand. Just did our second Irish training. We are going to be doing a training in Puerto Rico in the next couple of years, and Costa Rica probably this year. And what we are about is, why would somebody get involved with the Mankind Project is normally about a man looking to increase the effectiveness of his personal life or his success in business. For me, it was really about increasing my relationship, bettering my relationship with my then partner, now wife, and overcoming fears that I had been holding on to a long time in my life about who I was as a man in the world and how I connected with other men and how I could step out into the world bigger than who I thought I was.
Now, you were saying that what brought you here was wanting this deeper connection in your relationship.
Yeah.
So to have 2 people, I know you told me a lot about your wife, Kendra.
Yep.
Kendra, and she's a yogini, and she sounds like she's really on this path, this evolutionary path herself. So to have 2 people in a relationship who are both on this evolutionary path and becoming very self-aware, how do you problem solve together? What is different, you think, about your relationship?
Nice. What's different about our relationship? We have co-created this grand dance in our relationship that I think is really fun, and that I look around me and I don't believe that a lot of the people who I know, especially men, are able to have the kind of relationship that I have because of the work that I've been doing on myself and the work that my wife has been doing on herself. I believe that we just come face to face with each other in a much more honest and grounded way than a lot of people do. And for me, that's been about developing my own emotional intelligence, been about developing my own abilities to sit where many men are uncomfortable, which I think many men are uncomfortable sitting in like a feeling place. Men are uncomfortable learning how to, draw clear boundaries about in their relationships, but also have loving boundaries. So to be able to be fully compassionate and fully present and be able to draw boundaries. I think many men kind of get into, we create conflict instead of creating clear boundaries in our relationships.
That was actually one of my favorite things that you said the other day. I wish that we could have recorded our phone conversation, because that's where I had my kind of, Oprah aha moments when I was almost embarrassed to realize that I didn't think that there were, really all men want this, all human beings want some kind of deeper understanding of themselves and their purpose in life. But although I have such fantastic men in my life, in my family, I don't see this level of work. I only see women around me doing it. So when you were telling me all of this and how there are so many men from all walks of life who are doing this work, I felt like the whole world opens up for me. And this has actually been one of the best and most exciting, unexpected parts of Infinite Possibility. I'm having men emailing me very genuine, authentic emails about how they want to do this work.
Yeah. You use the word authenticity in there. Intimacy is another real powerful word that too in a very different way over the last few years doing this work. Yeah, and the more me I bring to my relationship and the more me I bring to my life, honestly, being able to look at not just the cool parts of who I think I am and who I project into the world, but to be able to really get honest about where I struggle, be able to get honest about where I get stuck, be able to get honest about where I really have a hard time listening. Very powerful in my relationship with Kendra. I didn't listen all that well. I've always been a sensitive guy, but when push comes to shove, it's like, I'm checked out. I'm going to back away. I'm going to go into my little man thing and blank face and not be able to just sit and be present with what's happening. I think that that's been incredibly powerful in not just my relationship with Kendra, but it's, I take men by surprise a lot because they don't expect, So when I say, how are you? I want to know. I actually want to know. I care. Mm-hmm. And then I am capable of being present with guys in a way that I don't think they experience a lot. And I judge that it's not just me, it's a lot of these men in the Mankind Project who do this kind of work, do this internal work so that we can relate to our external worlds more effectively.
So let's go there. Let's go into the fear, since that's really where everyone stops, right?
Yeah.
What questions kind of turn the men around? I know that in my process I ask myself some really difficult questions that from the surface might not seem so difficult. But, who do you really want to be and who are you really right now? Simple things like that.
Yeah.
Right? But what turns the men around? Because I bet that even if they seek this out, I'm guessing that they come and when they feel the intimacy with the men, they really don't know what to make of it. And maybe they might change their minds for a minute, even if they don't tell anybody.
Yeah. One of the ways that I help men overcome that, and I think that makes it a little bit easier for men to get into, is to not go. The Mankind Project offers trainings. We offer weekend trainings. Pretty intense. I mean, we frame our trainings as a modern initiation experience for men. So it's very kind of hard-hitting. It's a full immersion, 48-hour experience, which can seem like a pretty high hurdle for a man who has never done any emotional work, who's never actually, confronted the mirror that is himself in a real clear way. For me, I've created an open circle here where I live in Springfield, Massachusetts, where guys can come and get a taste. They can come and see, okay, so what does it look like for 2.5 hours to actually start to tell the truth about myself? This much of the truth I'll share with you today. And maybe next time I'll share a little bit more. And then I'll dive a little bit deeper into, who I am and start to look at my own internal fears, my own internal blocks about what's getting in the way.
And what does that look like and sounds like when they come that first time just for this tiny little 2.5 hours?
Yeah.
What are the questions?
The process that we use is we use rounds. So it's a facilitated space. We create safety by having the space kind of cleanly facilitated. We have ground rules on the wall that we read to everybody. We have an ethical statement on the wall that we read to everybody, so everything is very clear about what we're going to do. And then we take the opportunity to check in, like, who are you? What do you do? You got kids, not got kids, married, divorced, whatever. Do that kind of stuff. And then we go a little bit deeper.